Welcome, everyone, to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what is going on in the nerdy world. I am battling a cold and CJ Mellon, joined by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
You should hear me in the morning when I wake up. I'm like 2 octaves deeper, and I can just by naturally talking, just do the "You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch" like really well.
Do you go full on Boris Karloff when you get sick?
Yeah,
you got some smooth, silky tones to your voice this week.
Yeah, I work on the phone for a living, and someone's like, "You got a good phone voice this week." I'm like, "Yeah," until I cough or just try to breathe for too long, and then I'm hacking up a lung. So I'm sorry for the quality of my voice.
Oh, yeah.
You're listening to the smooth sounds of That Kind of Nerd.
That Kind of Nerd After Dark.
You know what? I want to start off this week's episode because Brian, again, I mean, he just bunkered down, right? He used all of his skills and available brain power to put together the list of movies that are coming to the movie theater in the month of April. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Blockbuster. God, we have to apologize for my voice and for that.
Good that week. That was a good one.
We were talking about some bleeding ear holes again.
Yeah.
Brian, why don't you start us off with what's happening on April 6th?
It's a slightly slow month in April, but we do have some pretty decent movies coming out. Some stuff that I'm excited for, some stuff that I really don't care about. But, I'll let you guys decide which is which. So, on April 6th, we have our first movie coming out, which is A Quiet Place, starring John Krasinski and Emily Blunt. Looks like a horror movie where nobody can make a sound. So that's all I know about that movie.
Yeah, this is one of those things where you kind of don't want to know too much going into it. The only thing I know is that it has some sci-fi elements to it as well. It's not just horror and they can't talk for no reason. Like there's some sci-fi element to it.
Yeah, the big thing is that like if they hear you, they hunt you type of thing, which I'm completely okay with. I think it's a pretty interesting way to make a horror movie, honestly. I think this is going to be my horror movie of the year that I go see in the theater.
Written and directed by Krasinski.
Yes.
Yeah. And
with wife Emily Blunt.
He is multi-talented and he gets to be married to Emily Blunt. I don't think that's fair.
I mean, I'm not going to go see it, but
I'm definitely going to see this.
Yeah, this is I don't usually like movies like this, but I
that's the problem.
Very excited for this movie.
Okay.
Well, that's okay because maybe while we go see that, Josh, you'll be seeing the comedy that comes out that week called Blockers, starring John Cena, Leslie Mann, about a group of parents who are trying to save their daughter's virtue on prom night.
Yes, I'd much rather see that, even though it's a nightmare. Like come to life on screen. Yes, much more preference to that.
See, I really don't care about this movie.
I would rather stub my toe 3 or 4 times in the same spot every single time than watch this movie.
Did you not watch the trailer? How do you not think that's going to be hilarious?
It's nothing I need to see in the theater. This is an iTunes thing. I can wait.
CJ, you have 2 daughters.
Yeah, I have to. First, you're right. I have 2 daughters, and you're right. This is a nightmare come true. But I am way far away from this being a reality right now. I am decades.
I am not. No, well, no, you're not decades away.
I said a decade away. 1 decade.
A decade. Yes.
A decade. Yes.
I am not a decade away from this anymore.
Man, this looks so stupid. I don't know who has what dirt on John Cena to force him into this movie.
No one has any dirt on him. He just wants to be in movies.
He's all over the movies right now.
He's not in a ton of movies.
He's all over the movies right now.
Okay, do I need to remind you, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who we all love, started off by doing
the Tooth Fairy,
the Game Plan, the Tooth Fairy, Scorpion King.
Scorpion King.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
Awful. I just had this conversation with Laura just 2 days ago.
Everybody gets started somewhere.
I like his cameos in other movies.
This now he has a slapstick.
Now it's a leading role.
A leading role, right? This is his first real.
It's his big break, CJ.
Listen,
he's
looks
gonna
terrible.
make it.
It looks terrible. I'm glad John Cena is getting in movies. That's great. It looks terrible. I haven't chuckled once when I watched this trailer.
I can't believe you.
That's okay. Speaking of wrestlers turn actor, April 13th, Rampage comes out, starring our favorite Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and really what my favorite, why am I blanking on his name? Jeffrey Dean Morgan. I do love me some Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
And he is classic Jeffrey Dean Morgan, elongating every word.
I don't care. He can elongate
says.
whatever he wants.
So you guys are like Grey's Anatomy Jeffrey Dean Morgan fans, not like the Losers Jeffrey.
No,
No, we're not Supernatural.
I'm a Losers
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Dean
Dean Morgan fan.
Losers Watchers Supernatural.
Yeah, that's true.
Watchmen, not Watchmen.
This is my movie pass movie. This is the I'm not paying to see this movie, so I'll totally see this movie.
I'll pay to see this movie for funsies. I want to see this movie. It's coming out on a week where nothing else is really coming out, so maybe I'll make this my Tuesday night movie. Who knows? Also coming out that day is another classic, sure to be classic, Truth or Dare, starring Lucy Hale, another awesome horror movie.
I watched 35 seconds of this trailer.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, thank you. I watched 35 seconds of this trailer and said, "Oh, I'm not wasting any more of my time with this, like at all. Like I'm already done in 35 seconds."
After you get past the 35, 45 second point, what you find out is essentially it's like Final Destination conditions, right? If you don't tell the truth or complete the dare, you die. So
give me
and they have creepy smiles.
Give me more movies like Happy Death Day. I'll go see that.
And you know what's ridiculous?
Was that good? I really wanted to see that.
That movie was fantastic.
I've watched it 3 times.
I should just buy it.
I've watched it.
I should just buy it.
It's Happy Death Day was excellent.
It really is one of my new favorite movies. Like I really think this movie is severely underrated.
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't give it as much. I don't like it as much as CJ did, where he put it in the top 5 of last year.
I did,
but it is definitely good. I have watched it 3 times, but
this movie. This movie, I won't even waste my movie pass.
In like a suspension of belief good kind of way.
Okay. Well, instead of going to see Truth or Dare, rent Happy Death Day. Anyway, moving on. April 20th is, I'm sure we talked about this once or twice. Super Troopers 2 comes out on this day. For what reason? I don't know.
There's
no mystery.
There's no community celebrating 420 as a holiday in any way, shape, or form by relaxing and just taking it easy. This is a movie.
I think we've talked about this enough. We're on board. We're seeing it.
Yeah, I just got to convince my wife to see it. If not, Brian, you and I are going to go see Super Troopers 2 together because there's no way Jenny's going to this.
All right, sure, whatever. Call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
That's dumb. Did she not like fun?
Thanks, Kim Possible. No, I'm trying to sell her on the Rob Lowe aspect. Be like, hey, Rob Lowe's in it. He's pretty funny. Huh?
Did she not see Super Troopers?
Probably not.
No, then she doesn't deserve to.
And then rounding out the blockbuster. On April 27th, something special and near and dear to my heart is happening. Can any of you guess what it is?
Oh, the Avengers.
Yes, the Avengers movie is coming out, and I'm super excited.
So excited for this movie.
So, yes, that is it. That's all the movies. That is all that's fit to print. There are other movies. Let me be very clear. There are plenty of movies coming out in April.
They just all suck.
These are the ones worth talking about. I don't think Bus Party to Hell is something that we should put on our top priority list.
Party to hell. Sorry.
Just saying.
So now that we're done talking about what's coming out in the month of April, it is time to look at the broader world of movies and TV in a segment that we call Screen to Screen. And we are starting this week with a pretty awesome trailer for Westworld Season 2. What I want to highlight about this trailer real quick, which I know Josh definitely wants to talk about, is the use of music in this trailer. It was
I saw
awesome.
This trailer and my first thought was, oh, Josh is going to love this. Josh is going to love this. Like, I was super excited. Listen, I'm not even like the hugest fan of that particular song.
So instead of dancing around it, can we tell us, Josh, just tell us what the song was and why it was pretty cool.
It was Heart Shaped Box by Nirvana, which is, among Nirvana's, let's say, 3 or 4 most popular songs. Mainstream popularity. So easily recognizable, ton of radio play, something that everybody's going to go, wait, I know what this is. What is this? And then when they realize what it is, as the song kind of crescendos in the trailer, you go, holy shit, I knew what it was. I'm that guy. Like I'm like four notes in. I'm like, oh, it's Heart Shaped Box. It's so amazing. Why is it so amazing? And how did I never hear this way before? And I think that's the thing that Westworld does, both, musically and with their story. This is a story that is, you know, this type of story's been told a bunch of times, but it's never been told like this before. We've never heard the music used like this before. It's just very HBO and very innovative, and I can't wait. I can't wait to hear what else they do this season, especially if they use Nirvana thematically like they used Radiohead and a couple others. That would be actually pretty friggin' amazing.
Yeah, I'm just excited for this season overall. I mean, last season ended with such a holy crap, the robot uprising is beginning, and I'm excited to see how it kind of plays out. I want to see what other worlds there are. I'm super excited. It's gonna be really good.
Yeah, and if you're not caught up on Westworld, now is the perfect time to do so.
Yeah, I mean, it comes out April 22nd, doesn't it? Season 2.
Yep, I've already watched season 1 start to finish again. I'm ready to go. And now we're faced with the classic problem that this is an HBO show that I can only watch one at a time.
Yeah. You have to watch it like a peasant, right?
Like a peasant. I'm just left totally unsatisfied every week.
I'm always satisfied.
The next bit was a trailer that came out for the Netflix original movie The Titan, starring Sam Worthington.
Yep.
Meh.
Is that the sum total of your reaction?
Yeah.
Really?
When I saw it, I didn't know what to make of it at first. And at first I was like, I don't know. Then I was like, yeah, no, I'm totally sold. And then I ended with, okay. Like, all right. Like,
well,
I gotta,
like, it's not, all right. It's not, a Blockbuster movie. It's probably worth a watch the same way that Bright was. It's nice to see Taylor Schilling in a role that isn't in prison.
Yeah.
Which is cool. Sam Worthington always delivers. You know,
Really? He always delivers?
You don't think he plays good roles?
The only time you can say Sam Worthington doesn't deliver was The Shack. Other than that, I don't really have much against him.
Tom Wilkinson.
Clash of the Titans, Wrath of the Titans,
That wasn't
Avatar.
his fault.
I don't have a problem with any of those.
They're all awful.
I have a problem with Clash of the Titans, but the other part though is what Josh just said, and that's Tom Wilkinson. Which I mean, first off, he is in everything. He's in everything, and he's always great. He's always great.
Yes, he is. He is always good. And the last few things that Sam Worthington has done, like Manhunt Unabomber, was really good. Right? I heard Hacksaw Ridge was good. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I liked it.
Right, but he's done quite a few things recently that have been good. And then if you look at his IMDb, he's got 4 more Avatar movies on the docket, Brian, stretching
aware
from here to 2025. Maybe that's your problem, is that there's going to be 4 more Avatar movies.
I hate Avatar to begin with. Everybody knows my hate for Avatar. Listen, I'm not bringing any of that crap into this, but like, I've seen this story. I've watched The Astronaut's Wife before. I'm not impressed. It looks
Here's the only thing. You already have Netflix. So like there you go. Like
it's free.
Yes, but I have a list of a lot of other things that I could watch.
You're not
going to
watch those other things though.
You don't know that.
We all know you're never going to watch anything.
I don't believe
on your list.
you're ever going to watch anything else.
So we're going to just stick you with new stuff and not ask you to watch any of your backlog. And at one point you're going to be like, "Well, you want to watch on Netflix?" Oh no. And you're going to put this on, just like Josh said, just like Bright. And you're going to watch and be like, well, yeah, at least we watched it. It was a movie. It was good. All right. Like, yeah, all right.
The difference is Bright was at least like different with an actor that I enjoyed. This is not different.
This has
an actor I still don't enjoy.
This has some promise. I'm not saying, oh my God, because it's available right now.
And the lead actress that I've never watched, I'm assuming she's in Orange is the New Black. Is that what you're referencing when she's saying person? I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So
she's fine.
I have no love for the woman, the lead actress. I have no love for Sam Worthington. Because everything I've seen him in, even though he may be okay, the movie is garbage. So,
all right,
I don't trust Sam Worthington to pick good projects.
It's a maybe for me.
Okay, I'm just saying.
But
why y'all hating on my hate?
You're drinking that haterade again.
I know. I just hated one thing. I loved Westworld.
So let's talk about. You know what? Here's something I have haterade for, and I'm very glad to announce this news that Sci-Fi's Sharknado movie franchise is coming to an end. But of course, the finale has to include time travel because just fuck me, like because you just want to ruin everything. Why not?
They have to go back in time to the first Sharknado and meet their past selves and stop the first Sharknado from happening so that the other 5 Sharknados don't happen. I don't know if this is true. I haven't actually seen anything about this movie, but come on. Come on.
The last movie was the 5th Sharknado movie. I can't believe I'm saying that. And
Yeah,
it had
it's fantastic.
1.89 million viewers.
Because some people enjoy movies so bad that they're good.
Yeah, but they're not just bad.
They're so
just
bad, they're good.
No, this isn't
they're
like
so
exquisite acting. It doesn't go all the way around and become good. It just stays bad.
This does. No, this is good.
This is so awful. So awful.
You know it's a cultural phenomenon if there's a pop figure of it, and there's a pop figure of Sharknado.
Sure, but then I have to deal with the likes of Paris Hilton, and I have to deal with what's that? The chick from Scrubs smoked.
Tara Reid.
I got to deal with Tara Reid. Like Tara Reid and Paris Hilton in the same movie franchise. You've lost. You have no high ground to talk about.
I haven't watched any of the Sharknados. I'm assuming Paris Hilton gets eaten by a shark, and sign me up.
Or a NATO. Who knows?
Either sucked into a NATO with sharks in it and then eaten. Do they have laser beams on their head?
I don't know. They're freaking sharks.
That'd be fantastic.
Head.
Do the sharks time travel?
I don't know.
If the sharks are time traveling, I'd love to see some Sharknados in like rural Japan.
Right, Josh, you have been very quiet throughout this. Have you seen any of these movies? Are you? I mean, what's your feeling on the fact that this is going to end finally?
Has Josh seen any of the Sharknado movies?
Listen, I don't know. You're a man of mystery, and every once in a while you surprise me with something, like your knowledge of plants and turtles. I'm still discovering who you are as a person every day.
No, I'm nope. just no to any of that.
To all the people who do like Sharknado. And are kind of going, hey, stop shitting on the movie franchise I love. It's a guilty pleasure. I do just want to say you have shitty tastes in shitty movies.
You know what? I'm going to watch these movies now, and I'm going to love them.
That's fine. I am not going to sorry, not sorry.
Even if I don't love them, I'm going to tell you I love them.
Reevaluate your life choices, please. Speaking of reevaluating your life choices and maybe something that's absolutely terrible, a few months ago we had talked about the TV show Reboot from the 90s getting a reboot. So they're rebooting Reboot. Let that go in. So Reboot The Guardian is now available on Netflix as of right now, and it really has like a Power Rangers vibe to this, and it looks awful. Looks real bad. Now, not to say that Reboot, if you go rewatch it now, holds up, because it does not. It's also pretty bad.
Oh, that CGI still holds up. I'm confused. I don't remember enough about the old Reboot. Was there a live action aspect to it?
No, there was not.
It was just all inside the computer, right?
Correct.
All right, this is weird.
So they're doing this live action thing. They're like, oh, we're going in the system, and now we're Reboot characters. Then we come out, and then there's basically a girl who's Alpha 5 and has no like Ariana Grande acting capabilities, essentially, and just only talking in one tone of voice. It looks awful, but I know a few people who have kids as well who are going to be dragged kicking and screaming to sit in front of their television and watch these episodes. And for those people, I will pour out a beer for you. And I am so sorry. The struggle is real.
You're going to pour out some for your homies?
Absolutely. For this, oh God, just watch the trailer. And if you don't go, I know some people are going to be forced to watch.
I'm watching it right now.
Yeah.
This looks awful.
Yeah, it's not good at all. Everything that you loved, let me tell you this, everything you loved about original Reboot is obviously cared for, right? They obviously take that time. I can't even get through it. No, they just throw it all out and just mock you and spit on Reboot's grave.
I've never heard of this.
This is clearly something that would have missed your radar. I mean,
yeah, it was an old 90s Saturday morning cartoon. You were on the street corner being cool somewhere.
Why is that a thing? Why am I out on a corner somewhere?
I don't know. That's what the cool kids did.
Like snapping and dancing. I'm snapping and dancing, according to Brian. I'm singing songs.
That's what the cool kids did last time I checked.
I'm having knife fights.
Even the greasers like him.
Good Lord.
Did you have like a switchblade comb? That'd be awesome.
I didn't have a switchblade comb. This was 17 years ago. I was 20 years old and like living in the Philly area.
You had like a beeper on your
Which is full of street corners. I don't know where I'm going wrong here.
That's
maybe Nextel push to talk and a beeper on your hip.
I guess. I did have a Nextel push to talk.
I know. Believe me, I know. So listen, it's out now. If you loved Reboot, do yourself a favor. Just remember how it is in your head, and don't rewatch Reboot because it's awful. And don't watch this, and just kind of live in that nostalgia of going, yeah, it was good, and just live in that. Just let that be your life. Let the memory be stronger than the truth.
Sleep in it, pig.
Now it is time to talk about the world of comics, how it's affecting TV, how it's affecting movies, but really how it's affecting Brian. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Cape Talk.
Cape Talk.
So this story is still developing. Day after day, we're learning something new and new. FX has broken off with Donald Glover, and they are canceling the original Deadpool cartoon that they were going to be doing with him. Then, when we got that news, basically someone in FX was like, maybe he's just a little busy. Who knows? And then Donald Glover was like, hey, guys, I was not too busy. And then he released the script.
No, it wasn't a script. It was a spoof script he wrote just to make fun of FX and jab at the cancellation of the show.
And it was pretty funny. Yeah, I wouldn't say it was great, but it was pretty good. Then some news came out about that there was an episode that was like focused on Taylor Swift and like rather critical of her and a little, obviously taking the Deadpool side of things and maybe going a little over the top with that relationship. And that was apparently the straw that broke the camel's back. And
Did
then
Taylor Swift kill Deadpool?
Well, yeah, pretty much. But then Donald Glover I say Donald Glover with no proof behind this. Somebody then, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, released some test footage that they had made of the animation for Deadpool. The video is up and down and up and down. I don't know if I can put it into the show notes because by the time you listen to it, it's probably already off the internet.
The rejected reel?
I don't know. I watched it and then I went to go rewatch it again because I didn't really watch it and then it was already taken down. So I was like, damn it.
Yeah, that's the one.
So this is classic, just like, hey, we have creative differences. Nah, no, we don't. You're just an asshole. And then FX going, oh, fine. You said something pretty rude. And he's like, well, you know what? Fine. Fuck you. Here's what people want. Just like we did with the original Deadpool. Here you go. Let's have some footage. Let's see if that brings it back. It's not going to. It's just everyone pissing each other off.
Donald Glover's last 48 hours as narrated by CJ.
Which I assume he's also on a street corner just being awesome. So.
Well, yeah, he is. Have you seen that show, Atlanta?
I have. It's very good.
I don't understand. Like, am I supposed to be the Donald Glover guy here? Like, I don't understand how I'm now being linked with.
You're putting logic into it. You just can't do that. It's just.
No, Josh, you're just cool.
Yeah,
especially
I get. I bring the cool with me. I understand.
You're just cool, and I'm trying to think of if when I think of cool. I think of you, so how can I put Donald Glover in the cool bubble? And the only thing I can do is stuff that you would do. So I just pick something, and that's what it was.
All right, fair enough.
So we've talked about this. How do we feel about the fact though that this is gone? That we're not getting this.
Is it gone or is Donald Glover gone?
No,
there's two different things.
It's gone. Because the other part too into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it. I was not going to watch it anyway, so whatever. Do more Deadpool movies. By the way, I rewatched Deadpool this week. Laughed my ass off.
Still great.
Yeah, I mean it's still very, very, very funny. So I'm even more excited for the second one at this point because it's very funny.
And when I went and saw Ready Player One today, the Deadpool trailer was on the good one, and I haven't seen it on a big screen. I saw it on an IMAX screen. I was like, oh god, this movie looks so good.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it's gonna be entertaining. It's good. I wasn't gonna watch an animated show. Was anybody gonna watch a show on FX? Really?
Oh, not live. I would definitely watch this on the FX Now app. Like after it was done, I would binge watch the whole series. But this was not a week to week must see TV appointment. Brian, what about you? I know when we initially talked about this, you were pretty excited for it.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it would have been a fun idea, but it was nothing I was like all gung ho and ready to go for. I mean, I don't need a Deadpool cartoon. I just need Deadpool movies.
Right. Yep.
And I don't care about the drama that's unfolding. I honestly don't. Honestly, in my mind, once this Disney Fox acquisition is complete, that show was dead anyway.
Yeah, that's true. This is definitely Marvel.
It just got killed earlier, and I'm not worried about it.
All right. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. You're right. When you're right, you're right. All right, so moving from Marvel animation over to DC animation, which in my opinion is the superior animation. The Death of Superman, the animated movie is coming. There's more and more being released from this.
Wait.
With the
It already
exception of release
came.
date.
They did this like years ago. It's called Superman Doomsday.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you like Superman Doomsday?
It was okay.
I think that's pretty much the consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, I mean, it was all right.
Would you be appreciative of another take?
Yes.
There we
And I
go.
did see this trailer.
So
I'm
that's
just
what-
busting CJ's balls.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I read the article. I knew this happened. Yeah, and this, we're adding more people to it, right? We're having kind of an ensemble thing. Of everyone's trying to fight Doomsday, and
Doomsday?
everyone's trying to fight Doomsday, and
Doom,
more
doom,
people
doom,
that
doom,
he
doom, doom, doom.
defeats, the stronger he gets. Kind of like the Sword of Gryffindor. So I don't know. I'm kind of interested. Just like you said, the Superman Doomsday, was all right. Do you hope that DC can kind of get it right the second time around?
I mean, I thought they did a fine job the first time around. That's a very large story to try to fit into a 70-minute movie. So from what I could tell from the trailer, it's just the Doomsday. It's just the death of Superman. There's no return part. Where the failure, if you want to say it, there was any failure of the first animated movie they did is because they tried to cram in all of it. His death and his return and how all that worked out. I mean, yeah. So, I mean, if this is just going to be Superman beating the shit out of Doomsday and eventually dying, and that's how the movie ends, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, and looking at the voice talent, it's pretty well stacked. You got Jerry O'Connell returning for Superman, Rebecca Romijn as Lois Lane, Rainn Wilson.
Oh, they're actually married. That's cute.
Rainn Wilson is Lex Luthor, which I'm sure when I
Not so
hear
sure
it,
I
I'm going to
can
be okay
picture
with that. Rosario Dawson is Wonder Woman. Nathan Fillion as the Green Lantern.
Yeah, well, they've done these Justice League movies before, so they're bringing back most of the cast. These Justice League movies, the past like 3 that they've done, it's been Jerry O'Connell, Superman, Jason Clarke, Batman, Rosario Dawson, Wonder Woman, Nathan Fillion, Green Lantern. So
Pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah, I
I like
this-
Shamar Morris, Cyborg.
Yeah, I knew I was missing somebody. But yeah, so I mean, sure. The first half of the movie is going to be the Justice League getting their asses handed to them. And the second half of the movie is going to be Superman getting his ass handed to him and eventually dying. So, should be interesting.
All right.
I mean, this comic book story was huge when it came out. I'm sure everybody remembers how huge this was. So, I mean,
It was on the news. It was
Yes.
that big. It was on the news. Probably made it a Sports Center, Josh. Probably made it a Sports Center.
here's my only thing with the DC animated movies. There's so many other stories that they could be telling. There's so much other stuff that they could be doing like, and it just seems like every time they do this, we either get another Batman movie or another Superman movie.
Well,
Like,
you know why? But you know why?
show
that
me
is.
other stuff.
No,
Go ahead, Josh. Why is that? Why is that the MO?
because that's what's popular. Like DC is Batman and Superman, and
I
I'm
get-
not in that campaign, Brian. So don't yell at me.
I'm
But
not yelling at you.
DC, when it comes to average Joe, just the average viewer, is Batman, Superman. That's it. That's
But these
all anybody
animated,
knows.
but I will rebut with this: these animated movies are not geared towards the average viewer. They are geared towards the comic book fan. That is why don't talk. That is why they're doing these specific stories. No average viewer went and watched The Killing Joke or The Dark Knight Returns and was like, "Oh, I'm going to check this out." Nobody did. Like, comic book fans watch those because they're based on pre-existing stories that we love. So to that I say, these same comic book fans are fans of not just Batman and Superman. They're fans of
agree.
Flash and Green Lantern and Wonder Woman. And there's plenty of other stories or even just Justice League stories that they could be telling that they haven't told yet.
I agree with everything you've just said. I'm over here sort of shaking my head and hemming and hawing because while I agree with everything you've said, I believe the intent of a release like this is just to garner support for the current storyline. Just to rebuild get the true believers back in their corner and release more crappy movie content. DC need a shot in the arm. right now, and this seems like an easy way to garner.
So you're saying, oh, all the true believers hated freaking Justice League, so let's put out something that we know they'll like, so maybe they'll like us again for a while?
Yeah.
That's dumb.
Oh, is it dumb or is it brilliant?
It's not going to work.
It is going to work. It is going to work.
See every shitty DCEU movie that comes out regardless because I am a true believer.
And you're proving my point.
And you know as well as I do, there's a few neckbeards who are going to be like, yeah, Justice League was terrible. And then they see this and be like, you know what, guys, we can give it another shot. You're not that bad. They got the animation. They're good. And that's what you'll have to deal with.
Retainer and all.
Absolutely. Mom, stop it. I'm doing a podcast. Sorry.
It would have been better if you yelled at the dog that way.
Dog, stop it, okay? Clary, shut up. I'm doing a podcast. Sorry, guys. So, moving on to DC movie news, right? The cinematic universe now. December 21st is the premiere date for the Aquaman standalone movie, and we don't have a trailer yet. So a couple of people are going, what's up with not having any trailers? And the director of Aquaman, James Wan, said, hey, it's me. I'm the reason we don't have a trailer. Well, what he actually said was full of oceanic puns.
He just described himself as a duck.
Yeah, he put a lot of puns in it.
Totally calm on the surface, but churning like crazy underneath.
Oh, I get it, because Aquaman's in water. That's great. Just give me a fucking trailer.
CJ, that's what he said. It's like the lead quote from the article.
Yep.
He called himself a duck. That's wonderful, James Wan. In the meantime, those of us living in the fucking real world need a trailer to buy into your shit.
Yeah.
We need some proof that you're actually making a movie, because at this point, no one believes you.
I don't believe you're making a movie. I believe you're taking the footage from Entourage and putting it out there as a full-blown movie, and I call foul on that.
No, I think he's just taking Warner Brothers' money and, snorting lines in Buffalo Wild Wings bathrooms.
Right now, with the way that DC is poised, and the new attitude I have towards trailers.
You know why there's no trailer? Because the studios are trying to figure out how many jokes per second they can put in an Aquaman trailer and not have everybody hate them. I will give you the answer. It's 0.
Listen, you could get that perfect ratio, right? It could be too high, too low.
I don't need jokes in an Aquaman trailer. I don't need them.
You want to need more of my man and all that other brosive stuff.
Oh yeah.
I don't need that. Listen, with the way I'm currently feeling about DC and the current way I'm feeling about trailers, I don't want a trailer. I don't need a trailer. I'm just going to sit here and just already say it sucks and let that be that. I'm just letting the bias hang out now. It's got to win me over, and it's going to win me over on like the third week that it's out in theaters.
I want a trailer. I want to see how this is going to look. I'm actually interested in this movie.
Here, let me tell you how it looks. There's no color. It's all washed out. It's underwater. Jason Momoa has a lot of hair floating around. He's got a tattoo, and there's a big wave crashing. Bam! There's the trailer.
Is it a comic book movie, CJ?
I understand.
Then I will be seeing it.
I'm going to go see it. Yeah, I'm going to see it. I need a trailer. I need a trailer.
Anyway, just good to know it's not the studio. It's the director, right? Is he falling on his sword, or is it legitimately him just going?
I don't believe it's him. I'm sure the studio has something to do with it. Because if it was him, the studio would be up his ass saying, I don't care what you put together with scotch tapes and dreams, you need to give us a trailer. So
yeah, maybe less work churning your little tiny duck feet underwater and more.
The studio has to have something to do with it.
So all right, so then here's the question that everybody else is going to ask: is this a cause for concern then that we do not have a trailer? Does that mean the movie is bad?
It doesn't mean the movie's bad. It means it's not put
no, the
together
fact that
it's
DC means it's bad.
The what?
He says the fact it's DC means it's bad.
Come on, that's not nice, Brian.
Okay, you're right, Josh. The fact that it's DC means that about 75% of it will be bad, and you will enjoy 25% of it, and justify seeing the movie for that 25%.
You're making me sad.
That's how I feel about DC right now. I just rewatched Justice League not too long ago. So that's kind of how I'm feeling about DC right now. But, it's a superhero movie. I'm going to hold out hope. I will be optimistic. All this haterade will be out of my body momentarily.
Speaking of haterade, let's carry on, all right? Let's be an equal opportunity haterade right now. Let's talk about Fox and the X-Men franchise. Because
You mean the shit show that the franchise is right now?
yeah, because 20th Century Fox is shuffling around some dates, and basically the next 2 X-Men related movies have been pushed back.
Yeah, I got news for you. The next announcement is they've been canceled.
Yeah. So it went from November 2nd of 2018 to now February 14th of 2019. Which means, yeah, just like you said,
You don't just push back a completed movie a whole year. That just doesn't happen.
Why wouldn't these be like? I remember. I don't remember which one of you, but it was one of you that was like, "Oh, Fox is they're just gonna release everything."
That was me.
Until okay, which I thought was asinine then, and is now proven to be super asinine. They're not gonna release shit like anything that Marvel thinks is below par will not go.
Yeah, which is why we're getting Deadpool still, and everything else is delayed, quote unquote.
Because Marvel can use Deadpool exactly like it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But this X-Men shit, Marvel cannot use.
Oh, there's the other part too. They also pushed back the horror movie, The New Mutants, from February 22nd of 2019 to August
Which is an
of 2019.
X-Men universe movie.
Right. So I want to give both, the Dark Phoenix and the New Mutants both pushed back. Yeah,
This is Marvel saying, no, Fox, you screwed up the Dark Phoenix once already. Why don't you just wait until we can do it correctly?
I'm so sorry to say this, but the adults are at the table now, so you're gonna have to hold your shit off. All right, I don't want your YouTube videos out. I actually want to make a movie if that's okay with you. All right, is that all right? Go over there. Go play with something else. Okay, so going to the world of comics.
We're still in the world of comics.
No, but now going to actual comics, like physical books that we peruse.
Oh, the thing we never talk about
the
that I
thing
know
we
so
actually
much
never
about.
talk about in Cape Talk, but it inspires Cape Talk. The world of actual physical comics is having some good news. The Fantastic Four are returning to Marvel Comics after a pretty long hiatus to basically piss off Fox.
I find it very ironic. By that, I mean not ironic at all. The timing couldn't be even more perfect. Oh, you mean we're going to get our movie rights back? Let's reintroduce the characters who built the universe back in 1962.
How long have they been gone? How long
ago did Fan 4 Stick come out? Because that's how long they've been gone. Like
2015?
Subtract a year from that, then they canceled the book probably around 2014. It is Marvel's first family, and they've been absent for 4 to 5 years.
It's a big deal.
Bring back the Fantastic Four, please. Thank you.
Are you sure it has nothing to do with this 20th Century Fox acquisition? You sure it's not just coincidental?
I am quite positive that Marvel has a plan.
So, like, how do you do this? How do you take a group of characters who has had terrible movies associated with it, but such a beloved history, and get them back into the world of comics where everyone's okay with it? Like, how do you do
put
that?
a great creative team on it, and they've been in and out. Like, they haven't gone anywhere. Like, Reed and Sue are like somewhere working on their marriage or something. And Johnny's just been like poking into other things, and Thing has been with the Guardians of the Galaxy for a while.
I think you tell the original origin story
right
in a more modern way.
But they don't have to. The characters
I think
still there.
I think you do. I think you do need a review.
I disagree.
I do.
No.
Brian said 5 years. It'll be like 5 years.
You're in my world right now, Josh. They don't need to do that. Like, the characters are still around.
Not for you.
But they're bringing it back for people like me. This is not a ploy to try and get new readers. This is just reintroducing the characters.
What about people that
back
started
into the
reading
universe.
comic books in the last 5 years?
Great. Good for you. I've got plenty of other stuff for you to read too. And I'm sure this will be a good thing for you to jump on board with too. You don't need to redo an entire origin story though. You have the first
You don't
family.
think if Marvel makes a Fantastic Four movie, they don't redo the origin story?
No. I think they've already done it once in Ultimate Fantastic Four. It didn't work out well. It got canceled out after 2 years. So they're just going to continue doing what they do.
So let me rephrase this. We all assume, right? We just got to wait for paperwork to get done that Marvel is getting the rights back to the Fantastic Four. So to Josh's point, if Marvel's getting their hands on it in the cinematic universe, they'll probably reboot and retool, the Fantastic Four because they have to. They got a lot of damage to fix because of Fox? Do they go 1-to-1 on the comics now and say, hey, we're going to reboot the comics because we're going to have to reboot it in the movies, and we're going to make these two things the same. We're going to make this one story.
They're not bringing it back. They're not bringing it back just to have a book. They're bringing it back because they're gonna make movies, right? So they're going to have story.
Yeah, so that's my question,
bringing it back
Brian.
just to be a book.
Do you think that they're going to reboot the Fantastic Four to be in the image of Marvel Cinematic Universe?
No.
It's all I wanted to know, and that's how I was tying together.
They're not going to redo the origin story. They're just not. That family has been the cornerstone for decades.
Are you willing to slap bet CJ that they're not?
Why am I involved in this?
I think they are.
Why am I? This is your idea.
I mean, he can slap bet me, I guess.
I'm articulating your point of view to the man who doesn't understand it.
When it comes to tech, I defer to you two. You guys need to trust me on this. They're not going to reboot the comic book origin. In the movies, sure. They could reboot the movie.
It's not a slap bet. Are you willing to put a bar tab on it?
Yeah.
All right, you heard it here.
So
yeah,
I'm taking that bet. I believe within their first few issues there will be an origin story.
Okay. I believe you're
You're
wrong.
As the commissioner for this bet now, can you clarify a few issues? How far into it? First 10? First 5?
5.
First 5.
Okay.
So if issue 6 comes out, they redo the origin story, you've lost.
No, and it has to be redone.
I said there will be an origin
not just a
story.
flashback, redone for modern times, which is what you said.
That is what I said.
So what Brian's saying is that issue 4, right? If it's nothing but how we got our powers, it's a straight up like, here's the origin. Right?
That's an origin story.
Then you won. But what he's saying is, if they're in the middle of the fourth book, right, and they're like, "Hey, remember that time that we all got these crazy powers and some crazy shit happened to us? God, what a time you've lost."
Yes, I agree with that. If it's truncated that way, then that's not a retelling of the story.
Satisfy your question there, Brian?
Okay.
All right, a gentleman's agreement. Huzzah! On a scale from 1 to 10, where is your excitement? And just knowing how Marvel does this kind of stuff and reintroducing characters.
On a scale from 1 to 10, how excited are we that Fantastic Four is back in the Marvel Universe? Stop. My penis can only get so erect.
Yeah, it feels good. Again, this is the first family. This is the thing that started everything I love about Marvel Comics. There are some amazing Fantastic Four stories, and I'm sure there's amazing more. Like they've more amazing stories to be told. They've got to get the right creative team on it from the get-go, and we'll see who that is. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll probably pick up the first couple issues, not just to confirm this bet, but because I'm an avid comic book reader.
Well, as we all know, people, I love to go on the internet. I like to find the weird. I like to find the obscure. And then I ask for a tech perspective. And this time it's surrounding the NBA, which was like, thank you for that. It's always in the middle of my, okay. The NBA is experimenting with 99-cent fourth quarter live streams. Now, Josh, I was told, as I am obviously not a sports person, that basically when it comes to a basketball game, the fourth quarter is all that matters. So is this A, is that true? And then B, what do you think about the fact that you could just catch the last quarter for just a buck?
Here's my take on basketball. If you put 5 minutes remaining on the clock in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a 5-point game. I don't care what basketball you're watching. That last 5 minutes is going to take 37, 39 minutes to watch. It's going to be a close game. Like, as far as I'm concerned, basketball games should start 5-0 with 5 minutes left on the clock. And then with no fouls to give, like that should just be the game. So I'm fine. I'm fine with people paying a premium just to watch a specific thing.
It's not really a premium. I mean, it's a buck. I mean, like that's as non-committal as you could get to something.
I don't think so, man. I mean, every team plays 82 games, and if you're interested in watching that, if you're interested in watching the fourth quarter of every game your team plays, that's $82. So still
less than a whole cable subscription or any kind of sports package.
I mean, Yeah, but you can only, the 99 cents is per game. So if you're also interested in a rival team's fourth quarter, and that's affecting you at the end of the season, maybe you watch, let's say 13, 15 of those. Now you're up to damn near $100. Like, you can just buy the NBA League Pass for that. So, no, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Although the fourth quarter, is really all the last 5 minutes of the game is all that matters. Basketball is not a team sport.
I can't watch basketball. The shoes are too squeaky.
You're not allowed to watch basketball? Oh,
no, it's just the squeakiness. It just drives me crazy.
And there's no Bill Murray. Bill Murray's not playing basketball.
Where is Bugs Bunny in all of this?
So here's the thing I'll say, Josh. From the people around me that were talking about this, which is actually how I found out about it, was that if you're a casual viewer and you really only follow just one team, you just want to see how that team performs, this is awesome. But just like you said, if you are a huge fan, then League Pass is probably the better investment in this kind of idea.
If you like watching basketball, just pay for League Pass, right? Look, I like watching baseball. I pay $110. I can watch 162 games from every team in the league. As we're talking, I'm not a fan of the Angels, but I'm watching the Angels game because it's on.
I have MLB at bat. And I have access to
because T-Mobile, right?
Yeah.
Well, then you should be watching this Angels game as well. Actually.
Would you want this? Would you want this for any other sport? Is there a sport that you would want? Hey, I just want one little section of the game for $1.
Football.
Just the fourth quarter of football?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm not in this world. Don't be offended. I don't know any better. So here's the thing.
If you want to look, if you want to subscribe, every other sports package is pretty affordable. And then there's NFL Sunday Ticket, which is like $360 annually. Right now, I'm going to pay that regardless because I want all the football possible. But for a casual fan to be able to watch the fourth quarter of their team's game for 16 straight weeks for $1, yeah, man, that'd be pretty awesome.
All right, there we go. NFL, you heard it. Do it. Make it happen. It won't happen, but make it happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time where That Kind of Nerd gives a topic, a product, whatever, the third degree in a segment that we call the Nerd Degree. So I saw this project online, and I just thought it was really interesting. The headline is also just fantastic. Man with excellent taste in music controls his Google Home speakers with RFID tags. So the basic premise is this: there's these tiny cards with the album cover art, and then just text underneath it telling you what the album is. Taps the side of a table, and then bam, it is now playing throughout his home. How this is being done is with a small Raspberry Pi, not an actual Raspberry Pi, it's a tiny computer, and the Google Home Mini, right? Very small little smart speaker. An added feature that was not featured in this article because it just came out is now Google Home Mini now has the ability to play its audio through other Bluetooth speakers. So if you buy one Google Home Mini for $35, or I think they give them away for free if you just get YouTube Red, and they beg for you to get YouTube Red. And all your other existing Bluetooth speakers, you can kind of use this now to just tap the side of a desk or whatever you want and play music throughout your house. I know we're not all huge, Android users here, but the idea itself, I thought had some merit. Very interested to hear what you guys just thought about this.
I feel like you're totally missing the point of this.
Oh, then correct me and set me right in my ways.
So this guy has, essentially figured out a way to live without streaming music services. That's basically what he's done. He's archived all of his music in cloud storage in his home.
Right.
And this is allowing him to, basically do what everybody else does with streaming music services, but without paying for it. So
he does also have a project up that uses Spotify for this. So you don't, if you are a music person.
Well, that's wonderful. But right. However, like all tech savvy, whatever people do, this is just a super overcomplication of an incredibly simple process. This is like a Raspberry Pi, and I'm going to touch these cards to the side of a who gives a shit? Like, all I do is say, hey, Siri, play this, and that's what happens, right? And it'd be the same thing if it were a Google Home. Like, he's putting a middleman where
Yeah.
there doesn't need to be one.
I'm pretty sure we already did this like 20 years ago. Isn't
Yeah,
that,
like a
what was it,
million years ago.
Cassette tapes,
Right.
I think they were called.
That's all that he can do is he can touch a card to the side of a table and play the thing that the card says to play, but that doesn't do anything.
Like my grandma had a cassette player in the wall. You would put the cassette in, and it was wired throughout the house, so you
It would
heard
play
it
all
on
over the house. It
speakers,
was wonderful.
all over the house. This is an overcomplication of something that doesn't need to be that complicated.
And also doesn't require Google Home. Like you could do this with any speaker.
Any speaker.
This is fucking ridiculous. This is the stupidest shit I've ever seen, maybe. Like this is creating like complexity where we've spent the last 15 years going away from complexity.
CJ thought this was cool, and now he's
No,
like
I'm
questioning
thinking.
everything.
I was thinking of this more for movies rather than music. It's being, man, I really
Why?
want to watch this movie.
Why? I have
Blah, blah, blah,
iTunes.
blah, 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 blah,
I do this, but wait. I do this, but without printing cards and touching them to the side of a table.
Well, I'm thinking of I obviously don't pay for all my movies, right? I stream a lot of them through Netflix and through Hulu, through everything but Crackle.
So you're saying if you were Brian and you had a shelf of 1 million DVDs, it'd be
759.
better. It'd be a better shelf if it were cards and it wasn't.
No,
a shelf.
I would just think of this. You would rip your DVDs onto like a Plex server or something like that, right? Put it onto just something you can have at home. So you take them off the DVD, get it into a digital format, which is pretty easy.
Sure.
And then just go, tap, all right, I want to watch, Dark Knight Returns. Tap.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Returns now.
It's
playing on the
brilliant.
TV.
You know what I could do is not rip it at all and just queue it up in iTunes, or better yet, say, "Hey Siri, play The Dark Knight Rises." No, don't do it right now. Please don't.
And even if you didn't have it in iTunes, you know what I can do? I can take the book. I can take it off my shelf. I can put it in.
What I'm saying is,
player.
I don't own The Dark Knight Rises, right? I don't own it. I don't own it digitally.
That sounds like a personal problem. I'm not really sure.
If I would want
how
to watch
help you
it,
with that.
I would want to take a little card, tap it, and say, "Hey, computer in my life, figure out which service I have that I can watch this on." Because Siri
you're
can't.
asking
Because
for a
Siri
different
can't.
thing. You
I
don't
know
need
that's
a
what I'm saying.
card for that.
This is a nugget of an idea. That's what I'm saying. This could be a nugget of an idea to lead to something else, because Siri cannot search through Netflix at all.
That's fine, but your idea is it's starting at the wrong. Like you're like, I need to have a card to be able to search. That's a problem.
I just think that the card's an interesting aspect of it.
No.
All right, so then how about this? Fix this, right? Fix my idea for movies. Just for movies, at least. Just do with what we have now and just stop being an idiot trying to reinvent the wheel.
You want an app that searches all the freaking services at once, which we've been talking about for a year. That's all you want.
Look, but it doesn't. I don't need cards and RFID and Raspberry Pi.
You're doing
this
too
is
much
ridiculous.
too much
Look,
work.
This is very cool. Like it was very cool. Let's say 15 years ago. Right now, like what this guy is doing with all of this ancillary equipment and cards, you can do with your voice. So this is not cool for like today. This is not innovative. It's nothing new. It's actually going backwards.
All right, touche.
And Adele, what are you doing? What is this guy doing? There's two different Adele
He's got
albums
Hamilton.
right
He's got Ed Sheeran. He also has NSYNC and Moana.
right, Trolls. I like NSYNC, but like Trolls, 2 Adele records. What are you doing?
2020 by Justin Timberlake.
That's fine.
I do agree.
That was
His
a
taste in
great
music
record.
is something special. That guy.
It's questionable at best.
Yeah.
With our standard unit of measure, I give this "Quit Playing Games with My Heart" by Backstreet Boys.
Oh shit! Oh my god! Oh.
With our standard unit of measure, I give this "The Hardest Thing" by 98 Degrees.
By our standing unit of measure, I give this S Club 7's S Club Party.
That is indeed not a party I want to be a part of.
No.
Whew. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and a little teaser for next week. We are going to be talking about Ready Player One, the movie. It'll be Brian and I. Josh will sit there and twiddle his thumbs for a little bit because I don't think he's going to see the
He'll
movie.
probably be watching baseball.
But
He's going to be on a street corner somewhere while we review Ready Player One.
So with that in mind,
As is my custom. Yes.
So with that in mind, we do want to hear from you what you thought about this movie. If you saw it, you can always email us at nerds@thatkindofnerd.com or find us on Facebook or Twitter at thatkindofnerd and on Instagram, thatkindofnerd podcast. We're pretty much everywhere. We're there. Just not Snapchat. We're not doing that. We also want to hear from you by calling us. You can call 484-373-4119. You can actually leave a recorded message, which we will play on the show. I want to thank you so much for making us your walk around your neighborhood or your drive to work, and we will see you all next week. I will be feeling better, so my voice will not be as crappy. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
If you love comics and sci-fi and technology, television, video games, and fantasy, well, take a listen to our show. I'm sure you'll see there's many points where we can agree. Like that Martha as a plot point was just too absurd, and Apple versus Android is a case to be heard, and that Josh Trank's new Fantastic Four was a turd. Well, welcome to the club, cause you are that kind of nerd.
Cape talking. Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, you Harrison Forded Cape Talk.
Why don't you start with what's going on April 6th?
I feel ya. I'm waiting for you to be able to participate.
I will. Don't worry. Don't worry about me. Just go on.
But I want to worry about you.
Movie Pass dropped to $6.95, like all the new people signing up, or is that just...
I have no idea. I would ask Movie Pass customer service, but then I would wait the 5 months to get a response from them, and by then the program's over, so I don't know.
I tell you what, I was, it was earlier today, and I was, making some sort of meal for someone in my home, and I heard this noise outside. Like I scrambled outside, and I get out there, and I'm sure it was a bird, but it sounded like a fucking porg in a battle cry. Like, and I was wondering what kind of bird sounds like a porg. So I just stood outside looking around while the bird just made these porg battle cries. And I don't know where it was coming from.
And you didn't record this? How do we not have audio of this?
I didn't have the wherewithal to like grab my phone. This thing is like screaming like a porg outside my house. I don't know what the hell's going on. Sorry, it's just that whole exchange reminded me of what happened earlier today.
You expressed, hey, this is pretty cool. I like to love her.
Is that your impression of me?
I'm sick. Please let it go.
I feel offended.
Hey everybody, I like to see Deadpool.
I'm not sure I would ever watch this right away, so I'm okay with it.
It's my headgear. My headgear's always interfering with what I'm trying to say.
So sorry about this. Check out my MySpace page, by the way, for my band. We're called Pickle.
I'm so sorry you didn't make my top 8. I thought you were going to be there, but you're just not participating in the way that my MySpace page appreciates.
I went to a baseball game once and I didn't know what was going on because the ball's so tiny. Can't
so much
see it.
Fun. You guys
it's
are
really
awful.
difficult to follow what's happening. I just saw a lot of people out in the outfield discussing what kind of snow cones they're going to have later.